Headed to the wedding?
Of my sister? Yes, I am.
How crazy is it that we're on the same plane?
Welcome to MsMojo, and today we're looking at whether the smash hit Anyone But You spells a turnaround for romantic comedies in movie theaters.
Oh, we did have a little bit of a last-minute snafu, though. You guys are gonna have to share a room. There's only one bed, but we hung a shower curtain in the middle, so
She's kidding.
The golden age of rom-coms. The 1990s and 2000s were the heyday of the romantic comedy. Those 2 decades saw the release of some of the most successful rom-coms of all time, many of which have since become classics. 2002's My Big Fat Greek Wedding, for instance, might be the highest-grossing rom-com of all time.
We never think it could happen for you. Never. Never. Cocky, didn't we say that?
We never think this day will come. Never.
And it came.
It brought in over $240 million at the domestic box office and over $368 million total worldwide. Adjusted for inflation, that's over $630 million in today's money.
There are 2 kinds of people, Greeks and everybody else who wish they was Greek.
And we can't forget other mega hits like There's Something About Mary, Bridget Jones's Diary, What Women Want, the list goes on and on. If a film's leads had good chemistry, or at least star power, and the script was funny, it was practically guaranteed to be box office gold.
My mission in life. But obviously I struck your fancy, so you see it worked. The world makes sense again.
During this era, a few stars rose to the top of the genre. Julia Roberts dominated the 90s with My Best Friend's Wedding and Notting Hill, and of course her 2 team-ups with Richard Gere, Pretty Woman and Runaway Bride.
What do you expect me to say to this? Hello?
Well, Bob, you could say, well, I hope you two will be really happy together.
Meg Ryan and Tom Hanks also turned out to be a match made in rom-com heaven with Sleepless in Seattle, You've Got Mail, and the highly underrated Joe vs. the Volcano. In the 2000s, Kate Hudson and Matthew McConaughey became the rom-com couple of note with How to Lose a Guy in 10 Days and Fool's Gold.
Let me just say this.
No.
Why not?
Guys, tell me after we crash. I'll give me something to look forward to.
Adam Sandler and Drew Barrymore also found plenty of success by leaning into the calm part of the rom-com with The Wedding Singer and 50 First Dates. They even reunited in 2014 for a film about 2 single parents who find love together, Blended.
You said he was a chubby loser. He is. You didn't mention he has that high, phlegmy voice, like he drinks a lot of dairy. I know.
Standing right here, ladies. Hearing everything.
The impact of the pandemic. Rom-coms had already begun to decline in popularity throughout the 2010s, but the COVID-19 pandemic hit the genre particularly hard. Most movie theaters closed completely in 2020 and much of 2021, and many films' theatrical releases were delayed or even canceled as a result.
Look, I'm sorry I have to kill you guys. You seem like a nice, though somewhat annoying couple. But if it makes you feel any better, I will get over it.
During this time, studios pivoted hard to streaming services, pouring millions of dollars into original movies and shows. This resulted in a slew of straight-to-streaming rom-coms that were well-reviewed by critics, but didn't leave a lasting impact on the cinema landscape.
I know that it's crazy odds that the person I like the most in my entire life would be someone I met while I was stuck in a time loop, but you know what else is crazy odds? Getting stuck in a time loop!
Palm Springs, starring Andy Samberg and Kristen Milioti, was a hit at the Sundance Film Festival in January 2020, but was never able to have a wide theatrical release. Instead, it went straight to Hulu and played at a few drive-in theaters. Similarly, Happiest Season, starring Kristen Stewart and Mackenzie Davis, was originally scheduled for a theatrical release over Thanksgiving 2020, but it was also sent straight to Hulu.
And I wish that I could undo everything, but I promise you I will make it up to you. I will spend the rest of my life making it up to you.
When theaters began to reopen in 2021, some genres recovered faster than others. Movies like Top Gun Maverick and Avatar: The Way of Water prove that big-budget action and adventure can still sell tickets. However, rom-coms rarely feature the kind of elaborate set pieces that you have to see on a big screen to fully appreciate, and they're almost never released in 3D, IMAX, or other special formats that would entice audiences into the theaters.
The only stars that matter are the ones you look at when you dream.
On one hand, this makes them a perfect fit for streaming, and plenty of rom-coms found success that way even before 2020, like 2018's To All the Boys I've Loved Before and 2019's Always Be My Maybe. On the other hand, it means that rom-com fans are less likely to leave the house and shell out money for tickets and popcorn. Instead, they can stay home and enjoy their favorite movies on the streaming services they're already paying for.
Write it down. Double feature. After we watch the Candles movie, we are watching Fight Club.
The only post-pandemic romantic comedy that's even come close to the box office successes of the 90s and 2000s is 2022's Ticket to Paradise, starring veteran Julia Roberts and 90s heartthrob George Clooney. It targeted an older audience who may have been nostalgic for the classic rom-coms of the past.
Old school moves. Dinosaur move.
The success of Anyone But You. This loose retelling of Shakespeare's Much Ado About Nothing has seen bigger box office returns than any rom-com in recent memory. This is thanks partly to the chemistry between its two hot young leads, and to an incredibly savvy marketing campaign by Sony.
Tiny Mike series.
Tiny Mike series on Sydney's Big Bus, going through Sydney's city sites.
You're good at this. The talking thing?
The advertisers went all in on pushing the movie to Gen Z, partnering with influencers and putting out tons of promotional videos on TikTok and Instagram. Star Sydney Sweeney used her platform of millions of followers to help keep the film trending. The movie also had a stroke of luck when its pop anthem, Natasha Bedingfield's 2004 hit Unwritten, went viral, with many fans of the film posting videos of themselves dancing to it. After a slightly mediocre opening weekend over Christmas 2023, Anyone But You slowly started to make waves at the cinema. It gained steam through word of mouth and social media, and by mid-January it was #1 at the domestic box office.
Have you guys made up?
All
We're
good.
fine if he just stays away from me.
Don't need an invitation for that.
I think you do. Feel like you can't leave me alone.
In yet another smart marketing move, Sony released an extended cut on February 9th, which propelled the film back up to the 3rd spot on the domestic charts by Valentine's Day. It managed to stay in the top 10 until late February. Impressive legs for any movie that's not part of a big-budget franchise.
Why are you so out of breath?
I'm fine. How much further do you think?
Are your eyes closed?
I think it's dark.
Why are you so out of shape? You have like a 10 pop.
I'm not out of shape. I've been 295, 300 once. I just don't do cardio.
It's also done surprisingly well overseas, where American rom-coms rarely bring in big returns outside of English-speaking markets. It's the top-grossing rom-com in Italy since 2012, and in Mexico, it's become the 5th biggest rom-com ever. So far, Anyone But You has grossed over $87 million domestically and over $119 million internationally for a worldwide total of over $207 million.
Nice touch.
Nice dress.
I look good, huh?
The future of rom-coms. It's too early to tell whether Anyone But You spells a true turnaround for rom-coms at the cinema. Aside from the occasional outlier, the genre may never reach the numbers it was doing in the 90s and 2000s. But we can learn a few lessons from this movie's success.
We just suck face in front of everybody. Half of them think they set us up anyway.
No, that's too much. We need to do something that's more hidden so it feels more real.
First, it proves that there is still a market for theatrical releases of romantic comedies. For the right movie, fans will get off the couch and into the theater. Second, marketing is everything.
Are you two really getting to know each other in a very respectful manner, one befitting such a kind and intelligent woman as your daughter?
Yes, we are in the early stages.
Not too early.
But also not so advanced.
Just that magical moment when two people come together in this crazy journey we call life.
That might seem obvious, but marketing looks different today than it did when My Big Fat Greek Wedding was #1 at the box office. Sony's social media campaign for Anyone But You was a major factor in its success. Future films hoping to capture the Gen Z market have to take that into account.
Oh my God.
Come on.
This is so cringe.
So is saying cringe, old man.
Before we continue, be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. You have the option to be notified for occasional videos or all of them. If you're on your phone, make sure you go into your settings and switch on notifications. Because rom-coms are relatively cheap to produce, that makes them fairly low risk. That means studios will probably keep making them, even if they don't bring in big returns. However, if moviegoers are hoping for a true rom-com renaissance, one thing is clear: they have to show up to see these movies in the theater. Fans turned Anyone But You into a surprise viral hit, and fans will be the ones to decide the future of the rom-com genre.
Today is where your book begins, the rest is still
Did you see Anyone But You? Do you think it lived up to the hype? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below.
We're at a wedding, a million miles away from home. Who knows what could happen under the cover of a masquerade?
Do you agree with our picks? Check out this other recent clip from MsMojo. And be sure to subscribe and ring the bell to be notified about our latest videos.